guys, this is Patrick Sessoms, owner of Due South Outfitters Fly Fishing Guide Service and Fly Shop in Boone, North Carolina. I'm a Hardy Endorsed Pro, so I'll let you guys know that right off the bat. But today I wanted to take a second to shine a little light on a rod that I've fished for the past couple years that is an absolute bombshell of a rod that I think gets overlooked by a lot of folks. And that rod is the Hardy Zephrus Ultralite. I'm fishing this in the 9-foot 5-weight configuration. This is one of my guide rods. Clearly this one is not. This is a brand new rod, but I've used this rod to guide for the past 2 seasons. And my basic setup on my drift boat each day is I carry 2 of the Zephrus Ultralites and 2 of the Zephruses. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about this rod because it doesn't get mentioned a lot, but by all means, this is hands down one of my favorite fishing rods on the market right now, made by any manufacturer. The deal with the Zephrus Ultralite, and I've got the 9-foot 5-weight, this is what I've guided with the past 2 years. So I've got about 400 days on this rod right now. The deal with this rod is this, guys. It is exceptionally light, okay? When you pick this rod up, I believe currently it is the lightest 9-foot 5-weight on the market, if I'm not mistaken. When you pick this rod up in hand, it feels like you're not holding anything at all. Now, this rod is kind of unique in today's modern rod world because it is not a super fast action rod, okay? Now, it's got plenty of butt to it for a nice, powerful cast. However, it's definitely more of like a medium action rod. It's relatively soft. And you might be asking, well, why would you want to get a super, or not super soft, but a soft rod to fish? And that just can be answered with one thing: presentation. So I use these rods each day, day in and day out, as my dry fly or light nymph rig rod. I'm not looking to cast 60 feet with this 9-foot 5-weight. Instead, if you use a game of golf as the analogy, this is my, 7-iron and in. You know, for that delicate, precise work where I'm wanting to put a fly right on top of a fish, or, right in front of the fish, not spook the fish, have those flies land just buttery smooth. This rod excels. Now, a couple downfalls of this rod. If you're looking for a really powerful rod to throw just, massive rigs through the wind, this is not the rod for you. If you're looking for that, I'd look more toward the Zephrus. I use the Zephrus, like I said, and the Zephrus Ultralite. With the Zephrus being more of my bobber rig or heavy rig style rod, I'm throwing a lot of split shot, indicators, things like that on the regular Zephrus because it is a little more powerful. But for those just really smooth, buttery presentations, the Zephrus Ultralite is hard to beat. A couple features that I find really fascinating about this rod. One is the reel seat. So it's got a very unique reel seat. It's kind of a ported reel seat, if you will. That's going to add to the lightness of the rod. Pretty much just the top of the reel seat has your locking mechanism, and the bottom's constructed of ultra lightweight cork. I'll tell you, I've had no issues at all with reels coming off of this rod. I know a lot of magazines and things like this have done write-ups on the regular Zephrus, and it is a wonderful rod. But if you've not cast one of these things and you're looking for that dry fly or light nymph rig, presentation specific rod, it's going to throw just perfectly smooth, tight loops to selective trout, this is the way to go. Where I'm fishing, I do a lot of dry dropper fishing, a lot of midge fishing, so really small 18s to 24s on 6 and 7X. And that kind of medium action of this rod protects tippet like no other. We've landed fish upwards of 20 inches on these guys, and they have no problem handling large fish. But at the same time, they're not going to break your tippet when you go to set the hook and the fish doesn't move with you. So all in all, great rod. Another feature I did not mention, titanium guides, recoil guides, which is really nice. You can't crush these guys. So, if say you step on your rod or something, your guide's not going to break. The fit and finish is just absolutely immaculate. Rod looks great. And all in all, it gets my seal of approval. One other thing I wanted to mention about this rod. This rod has Hardy's proprietary graphite technology called Centrex in the 440 configuration. Centrex is in essence a nanosilica resin system that's made these rods extremely strong. These rods are roughly 65% stronger and something like 30% lighter than all other rods and graphites on the market right now. And I've got to tell you, with 400 days of fishing on these rods, I've not broken one. I mean, that's incredible. At least broken one fishing. I've had some get slammed in car doors, whole different ball game. But that Centrex Graphite is just unreal to fish. It's buttery smooth. It's got a lot of zip to it at the same time, and just durability is paramount. You will not find a more durable rod than the 440 Centrex Graphite blanks from Hardy. As I was saying, this is primarily a light line style rod. And one thing that I do like about this rod is when we go to cast these light rigs, I can lay down a beautiful 45-foot cast with absolutely no splash or slap on the water. A lot of your more fast action modern rods do not excel in doing that. So if you're looking for that rod that's got kind of that old school feel, that's going to be just buttery soft, and lay down really nice loops to fish that are really selective, this is a great option for you. It can be kind of hard to find that in today's market. A lot of rods, I personally feel like, that are premier rods these days are made to look really good in the parking lot and throw a just country mile of line out there. But the fishability of that rod may not be just right. Where we are fishing on the East Coast here, a lot of our trout fishing game is at like 45, 50 foot and in. And so this rod is really dialed in on that range. Would I want to go to Montana and bomb 65-foot cast with giant dry flies on this rod? No, probably not. But for that kind of tight line interior casting where presentation is paramount and key to success, this rod's got it dialed in. Nonetheless, really appreciate you guys joining us today, and hopefully this shines a little light on the Zephrus Ultralite for you. And go out to your local pro shop, check them out. If you'd like to test drive one of these rods, I'd be glad to give you one for a demo. We sell the whole Hardy line here at the shop as well if you're looking to pick one up. Feel free to check out our website or give us a call if you have more questions about the rod. Until next time, we appreciate you joining us. Tight lines, guys.